Hello, my name is Stephanie Pope, and today I'll be making 2 cheese and chive cups for my appetizer dish for the Philadelphia contest. Here's our ingredients. Of course, we have our star ingredient, our Philadelphia cream cheese, and I'm using chive and onion. This is the best thing. It is really nice that Philadelphia has made your life a lot easier and has a lot of flavor. It's really great. I do like the fresh chives, and so this is mainly for garnish. We have 4 tablespoons of butter. We have a half a cup of feta cheese and 1 tablespoon of milk, any milk you like, non-fat skim, whatever your preference is, and 1 egg to bind, salt and pepper for seasoning, and phyllo dough. So our first step is to take our butter, and we're going to put that 4 tablespoons into a kind of low to medium low pot because you don't want to burn the butter. And this is for later on when we start to make our cups. We need it to bind the phyllo dough together, so that's our glue. You also want to preheat your oven to 325 so that it's ready and waiting for us. So now we're going to start with our wet ingredients. We have our Philadelphia cream cheese. So again, you want this room temperature just like your phyllo dough. You want to make sure you take these out probably 2 hours in advance before you start the recipe. So again, this is our 2 cheese and chive cups recipe. So we have chives and onions already mixed in with our cream cheese. Then our feta, our 1 egg, our milk, and we're going to mix that together. Really break that yolk in there to really combine it because we want a nice fluffy mixture with our cheese. Alright, and I use fresh ground pepper. I think the flavor is a lot better than just already pre-store bought. So I like a lot. So put in as much or as little as you like. And then of course salt. Salt brings out flavor in everything. Our next step is to grease our mini muffin pan. We want to make sure the phyllo dough doesn't stick to the muffin pan. So just a light spray to just make sure you get the base and the sides. Alright, so now we have the phyllo dough, and don't be nervous because it's really not that difficult. But when you roll it out slowly because sometimes the moisture will lock and actually pull the phyllo dough apart. So just roll it out really slowly. So you want a large working surface with this so you can have your phyllo dough here and then you can assemble it here. Okay, and I use my countertop, but if you don't want to cut on your countertop, make sure you use a butcher block or something. So you're going to take your first layer very gently and put it onto your work surface, and then we're going to take our butter and just lightly dab. You really want to just focus more on the edges and then the center. And again, this is our glue to hold together all 4 slices of the phyllo dough. And this is going to give it a really nice crunchy texture. Alright. So then we're just going to take our next layer very carefully. And see, mine ripped a little bit, and that's fine. The butter's going to cover that right up. And then just place it right over, press it very carefully so our glue, our butter, kind of sticks to the next piece. And then start with the next one. So now we have all 4 layers done. We're going to take I like to use a pie or a pizza cutter. It's a great tool, and you get a nice clean cut where your knife can also pull. So I like to just push. And you're going to have a 2 by 2 square. So just eyeball it. So you're going to take this and cut it, and again, this is where your butcher block would come in handy if you don't want to cut on your countertop. So you just take that apart, and you're going to just make 2 cuts and 1 more. Then you take your 1 cup here and just form it in, just lightly press it, and there's your cup. And you're going to take your wet mixture. I use a cookie scoop. It's the standard size. I'm a big baker, so I always have these. So just take your standard size, or you can use it, you know, spoons are fine. And just take it, level it off, so you have a nice even mixture, and just scoop it right in. So I'm going to continue making these. So once you have all of your cups full of your mixture, you're going to have some leftover butter, and you want to just lightly dab it on top of the corners of each of the doughs. This is going to give it a really nice crunchy texture, as well as a nice browning effect in the oven, which makes it very yummy looking. Alright, so they're all ready for our oven. Again, 325 for about 16 to 18 minutes. You want to be able to touch the wet mixture part and that it bounces right back. So that's what you're looking for. So it's been about 16 minutes. So take your cups out of the oven, and they should look a little bit like this. The wet mixture has now got a really nice bounce to it, and that means it's set up really well and they're completely done. And they have a nice brown crispy coating around them, which is going to be very good. You just want them to set and cool for a little bit, and while they're cooling, chop up some fresh chives. This is going to be the really pretty garnish for our 2 cheese and chive cups. And this is personal preference. If you don't want this, you can omit it, but it looks really pretty. All right. So again, just take it and sprinkle it over our cups. And it's all about plating, so we're going to just grab them and see how nice they just come right out. That's because we used some grease, some cooking spray. And just serve them up on a really cute platter. So here's our 2 cheese and chive cups. They're very crispy on the outside and creamy on the inside. And the feta is perfect. If it's too strong of a flavor for you, you're having more of an Italian dinner, it would be great to add some Parmesan cheese. It kind of balances out the feta, and it kind of makes your Italian meal more complete. So these are our 2 cheese and chive cups, and I hope you enjoy.